Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So I know I've been really inconsistent with this channel. I've been just uploading very few videos. The reason you know already is because I've been able to get this job in the Newcastle and most of my time is actually devoted towards the job. But I'll try my best to actually upload at least 2 videos per week. So make sure you are staying tuned and make sure to subscribe to the channel. So the topic of this video, the thing which I want to share is that why a lot of students actually leave UK after finishing their studies. Now it might give you a really negative tone to this video, but I'll be explaining the real reasons, and not only just leaving you with the reasons, I also want to explain what are the potential solutions so that you can have a successful study in UK journey, so that you are able to get a job after you finish your studies, whether you're coming for masters or for an undergraduate degree. So that's the topic. So we'll be talking about the reasons and solutions. So let's straight away get started with this video. Very first reason on my list is the work experience. Now on this channel, if you see my old videos, I've been saying this thing a lot of time, right? I've been reiterating again and again that you can come here to study for 2 different degrees, right? You can either come for an undergraduate degree or for your master's degree. And a lot of students actually come for master's degree. And the mistake which they do is after finishing their, let's say, undergraduate degree in their own country, let's say in India as an example, they straight away come here for their master's degree. So in between, they don't have any work experience, nor they have done any kind of internships during their undergraduate degree. And this is it really has a very negative impact when you're applying for a job in the industry, because your job profile, that experience which is needed, that you have got some kind of expertise, that you've actually worked in the industry, in order to demonstrate that skills, you cannot mention in your CV because you haven't ever done that work experience. So my recommendation over here is that if you're coming here for a master's degree, make sure that you've got certain amount of work experience before you come, right? It could be like 6 months, 7 months of work experience. The other thing could be that once you're doing your degree, let's say undergraduate degree in India itself, make sure you do some internships like during your summer, 3 months, 4 months. Don't just like spend in holiday vacations and all those things, right? So make sure you've got really solid work experience mentioning down in your CV, and then you apply for the job. So the first thing is that lack of work experience is something which you really need to be cautious about, so that you're able to get the work in UK after you finish your master's degree from the UK itself. Second one, which is for the job application. Now I think this is another reason that why a lot of students are unsuccessful, because of the job application. They don't know about the full process, and you know, like these all things really require a lot of patience when you're thinking about getting a job. So now first of all, I'm going to explain you about the job application process and some of the things which you can really do to kind of increase your chance to get the job, right? So in terms of the stages, so I'll divide it into 3 different stages. The first is interview stage, before that is pre-interview, and after that is the after interview stage. So for the pre-interview stage, you need like few things. The first thing is you need your CV and cover letter. A lot of people actually kind of undermines these 2 documents. I don't know why. Personally for me, when I was applying for my placement, it literally took me 3 months of making my own CV. So what it involved was I was making my CV and I was sending it to my professor, and she was to send me some kind of updates like, you know, Jishan, this is not looking right, you can make some changes over here. So it was a continuous process, and it actually took me around 2 to 3 months to actually make my own CV and the cover letter. And as why, so if you're coming in for a master's degree, make sure that you start making your CV and cover letter once you actually land and start your course. You can take help from me. I do some of the consultations which you can book with, the link is in the description, but it's not like selling myself over here, right? The main thing is you really need to make a CV and cover letter. You can take anybody's help. It could be also your professor, right? So the first thing is CV and cover letter, very important documents. Then moving to your online assessment. Now online assessment is another thing which a lot of students fear about, and let me just be very clear to you. The online assessment includes some of the situational judgment based questions, and also it will be asking you some of the mental aptitude based questions as well. And the best way to practice is just by applying for jobs, right? It really comes with experience. And also there might be some of the practice assessments which are available online on the internet. So make sure if you're applying for company A, which is your dream company, which you truly want to get in, make sure you have practiced beforehand before you attempt an online assessment. Or otherwise, apply in some of the companies which are not your primary target, so that you are used to that kind of assessment, that what of things are being asked and what are the time things, like, you know, these are time sensitive assessments. So you need to complete that in 40 minutes, 45 minutes, so that you've got very good practice. then like it really depends upon the company. You might also get a computer interview to do, but yeah, computer interview is quite optional. It really depends upon company to company whether they have got it or not. Then finally you come to your interview stage, which is really important. Again, it requires a lot of practice. So when let's say once a company A comes with an interview, right? So it's really important that you know whether it's going to be a technical interview or whether it's going to be a personality based interview. So the way to find is like you can actually communicate with the HR asking this question, or otherwise there might be some of the things on Glassdoor, because Glassdoor is a really good website. There you can find out how has the interview experience been for the previous candidates. That's what I did in my case as well. I went to Glassdoor, I looked for the position which I applied to or the internship I applied to, and the paper actually posted what kind of questions were asked. So you can check out everything is with you. The website name is Glassdoor. Then you crack your interview stage, then comes the post-interview, which is simply accepting your job offer and then working out the visa application process. So in my case, one question which is asked is the recent job which I've got is a sponsored job, and I never mentioned that during my interview or anything. Oh well, I didn't got an interview because I did my internship, and based upon my internship I was able to get this offer. Then once I got this offer, it was kind of a given fact that I need to apply for the visa, otherwise I can't do this job. So in my case, I never kind of communicated I need visa or anything. It was just quite obvious that, well, you know, he's an international student, he will actually need, and the company went ahead and sponsored me, right? So that's the kind of another thing which I want to put in here. So that was two things. Now moving to the third point, which is with respect to competition. Now I really don't want you to kind of undermine the competition fact over here as well, because like a lot of the things which you'll be applying here, let's say after finishing masters applying for the job industry, those jobs are really competitive. So if it's competitive, you really need to stand out, right? So that's a basic principle, and the way to stand out is based upon your grades. So make sure the university assignments which you'll be doing for your master's degree, you really score good, so that you can put those initial marks in the modules in your CV. And also the bachelor's which you finished already in India or in your native country, make sure you put in that marks in your CV. Like that's what I did in my case. I mentioned my grades in my CV which were really good. So that's the first way to stand out with respect to your CV. The second thing is your work experience. Again, make sure that you mention down your work experience in your CV. And in my case, I never did job before the internship. I didn't have any experience, but the only experience I had was part-time job, one of the part-time job which I was doing in parallel to my university. So I mentioned about that part-time job, and basically which kind of, again, so the main thing is like the skills which you mentioned in your work experience, right? So if I'm mentioning about a part-time job, the thing which is very critical is the skills which you've developed. The skills are the leadership skills, the communication skills, and etc. Right? So those all things are really important, that it really comes out to what skills have you developed. Then also mention about your internships, and the most important thing is your achievements. A lot of students miss their achievements, mentioning about maybe they participated in a poster competition, they won the poster competition. They never mention that those all things in the CV, but those things are really important. So this is some of the ways by which you can stand out with respect to the competition. And my fourth point is that lack of focus during studies. Now a lot of students actually take this studies quite lightly. They might be busy with the external co-curricular activities like parties and all those things. So some of the co-curricular activities are really nice, which are productive in general, but I mean, like if you're doing party every single week, that's definitely not productive at all. So make sure that you're really focused during your studies. That's my last point. Well, these were the 4 points which I really wanted to mention in this video. I hope this video has been helpful for you guys, and you've got some of the things which you can actually focus on. So these are some of the solutions as well which you can really focus on, as I've talked in the video. I'll see you in my next video. Make sure to comment if you've got any question, any doubt. I'll try my best to reply, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers. I'll see you soon.